Okay, so I'm back. But like I was saying, I was able to focus more on myself as a person and build my character. Um, and I was not superficial and shallow and things like that. Like, I became really, really down to earth. Um, More realistic and realistic expectations out of other people. Like I said, not judging people. So that's one thing that you really need to think about, because I know how much suffering comes with having bad teeth. And to somebody on the outside looking in, like, that probably seems a little bit ridiculous and far-fetched. But honestly, like, your mouth is just the center of it all. And, like, your mouth is what reflects, like, you as a person. Like, just by being able to verbalize what you feel or showing expression, like emotions to relate to situations. So when you're not able to do that, it really limits you in life. So it is a huge deal psychologically. But, wouldn't it suck to have to go through all of that for nothing? For absolutely no reason at all. That's the way I look at it. Like, I try to think of how I can come out of this and still be on top and not let it ruin me. Because I imagine that some people, even after they do get their teeth fixed, the damage that came along with all of the years of feeling bad about yourself, it probably won't instantly go away for some people. Like, they probably will still have areas of their life that they need to really work on. So that's some advice right there, is to try to see the bright side of it. That's a big deal. A big deal. You can let things make or break you. So that's the first part that I wanted to talk about. The second part is this. One of the things that held me back besides money from getting this done is, like I said before, the fact that no matter how bad my teeth were, that I didn't want to have to lose them. Because it's such a huge leap and change, and it's scary because you know that once they are gone, they're gone and you're not getting them back. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that, it was terrifying. And then the thought of dentures, like, because I don't know about how everybody else sees them, but I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm not a perfect person, okay? I'm not perfect, and I do judge things. And I try not to, and when I become aware of it, I try to correct that, but it's natural. And my thoughts on dentures before I came into this is that, number one, only old people get them. Number two, only people with serious, major fucking head issues would have to get them. I know that sounds really fucked up. It sounds fucked up, and don't get mad at me for that. I'm just trying to be honest. Like, those are some of the things that I thought about, and I was really scared of going to that extreme, even though I knew that's what I had to do. Now that I got them, I'm totally happy with them. I mean, because like my dad told me, with bad teeth, you go through the entire day feeling like shit about yourself. He didn't say that, but bad about yourself. But with these, if the only moment you feel bad about them is when you have to take them out, isn't that a lot better than feeling bad all day? Like, at least throughout the majority of the day, you're going around smiling with pretty teeth. It's just when you take them out that you might feel a little bit insecure, which is normal. But I would take that any day than to go through every single day of my life feeling horrible. So now that I have them and I was able to really analyze the situation, because I like to analyze things, I have a lot of comparisons to help people. One, my husband, before we met, he wrecked a scooter. Yeah. And he broke his leg. And something. I don't know what the medical term is for what happened to his leg, but something happened. And he ended up having to get a metal plate put inside of his leg and screws to help mend it back together. And it was through no fault of his own. I mean, maybe he was being a little bit stupid, but whatever. You know, shit happens in life. And that's something that happened to him. And he's got a scar on his leg where you can see where they cut him open and inserted it and everything like that. And you know what? People don't really think that that's a big deal. Like, they're like, oh, well, you just fucked your leg up and now it's fixed and it's all better, you know, and that's the end of it. But for some reason, when it comes to teeth, people don't drop it that easily. It's like, you know, there's got to be something terribly fucking wrong with you because something happened to your teeth, whether it was through bad hygiene or genetics or maybe an accident and you lost teeth or whatever. Shit happens, just like with anything else in life. Just like with my husband fucking his leg up. I mean, things just happen. But for some reason, when it comes to teeth, people have all these big jokes about it. Like, oh, she ain't got no teeth, you know, whatever, you know, crackhead, stuff like that. I mean, they really do say really mean things about people who have fucked up teeth. And it's just like, why? So many other circumstances happen with people. Men and women go and risk their lives in Iraq and get their fucking legs blown off and have to have prosthetic limbs. And we really congratulate them because, you know, they risked their life and did something very noble and tragedy happened, but, you know, they're heroes. And we don't, well, at least I don't think bad about them for having prosthetic limbs at all. Like, I just, you know, applaud them for doing something so courageous, and I wouldn't look at them as any different of a person for having a leg or an arm blown off. So why is it so different with teeth? Women who have no boobs, some of them are okay with that, some of them are not, and feel really bad about themselves. Like, I don't know how that feels, but they do, and it tears them apart so much that they go out and they get implants to feel better about themselves. And to my knowledge, there's no medical reason. It's just for looks and to help their self-esteem. And some people are really critical of that. Some are okay with that. But that's just what some people choose to do. And whatever they want to do, that's their business. That's their life. That's their business. Us women, we dye our hair all the time, you know, get bored with one color, dye it another, or, you know, we start getting gray hair, we want to cover it up. We put on makeup. You know, you can get down and nitpick to the type of clothes that people want to wear, you know. We do things like that, and it's not a big deal to wear fake nails or to braid your hair or whatever. Like, that's not a big deal. So why is it such a huge deal that somebody, especially for a medical reason, has to get their teeth replaced? What is wrong with that? So, you know, if somebody were to judge me for this, my thoughts would be, you know, who are you to me and how does this affect you? You know, that's how you got to look at it. Like, how do my teeth affect you? I'm not going to kiss you. You don't have to look all up in my mouth. You don't have to see me with them out. Like, really, how does it affect you? And I thought about that a lot with other things. Like, when I would witness somebody picking on someone else for the clothes they're wearing, like, how does what they're wearing affect your life in any way? Like, and they get mad about, like, I can't fucking believe that she had the nerve to go out the house like that. Like, who are you? Who are you to that person? So that's how I see it. You know, if somebody had jokes to crack on me, who the fuck are you? I don't care. And that's my mentality. I'm not going to let somebody bring me down. I'm going to go through life just feeling terrific and fantastic. And if I feel otherwise, it's because I choose to, not because somebody made me feel that way. I learned a long time ago like after I got over my social anxiety. Now I have anxiety and other issues of my life that I'm working on, but like after I got over my social anxiety, I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking doing this anymore. I'm not gonna sit around and waste my life. Yep. Hold on. I'm not going to go and waste my life worrying about what other people think about me, because you do that, that's a black hole. You're never going to get everybody's approval. It's just unattainable. You're not going to do it. It's not ever going to happen. There is always going to be somebody that doesn't like you, that has something bad to say about you, and that just wants to bring you down for whatever reason. And there's tons of reasons why they do that. Most of them are personal issues, and I'm not a therapist, and I can't help them through that. So the way I think about it, and you know what, I was just telling a friend about this. She was having problems with her husband or whatever, and I told her one of my methods, and I have told other people this, and it's really simple, and it's pretty funny to me, which is why I do it. When somebody's saying something that I don't like, that I don't agree with, unless they just won't leave me alone about it, to which point I will have to jump in and say, hey, you know, knock it off. But for the most part, I just sit there and think in my head, blow it out your ass. Like, and it makes me laugh, and it's funny, and I move on. That's it. Because what can you do, really? What can you do? How much worrying about what people think about you is going to change it? You know, is sitting there tearing yourself up, cutting your wrists, and, you know, doing whatever, drinking, drugs, whatever other escape you use to try to cover all of that. What is it going to change? Nothing. It's not going to change anything. The situation is still going to exist. So the way you go through life and handle those kinds of things, it all is up here. It's how you perceive it. Like, I read an article one time about, I can't even remember what they physically were going to do to people, but they said, you know, I think it might have came out of a book. Like, you know how people who are having to wait in line, like especially at a bank, like you gotta cash your check so you can go grocery shopping or whatever, or you know, you just need cash, and you're standing there in this long ass line, and you're just getting so impatient, and you want it to be over. Well, this article was talking about, like, what if you could do something to make people actually enjoy that, like to look at that as favorable, you know? And it's true. It's all how we perceive everything. Like with my son, I just had a baby, and he cries a lot, and I tend to his needs. I, you know, make sure he's changed, make sure he's fed, make sure he's not too hot, too cold. Sometimes it could be a stray itch somewhere, so I give him a little rub down and everything. And you know, when I've exhausted all resources, held him as much as possible, and he still won't stop crying, I just kind of have to tune it out and just say, you know, babies cry. They just do. I'm not going to be able to console him right now. He's just going to continue to cry. So I change the way I'm thinking, because with my other two kids, I would get in panic mode because I want to stop him from crying, because I feel like he might be hurt, and I'm his mom, and I'm out of control. Like, I can't help him. Like, you know, panic, somebody help, please do something, and he won't stop. But now I've learned to adapt to it and change the way I think about it and say, you know what? He's just a baby. And maybe he just likes to cry. Maybe he likes the way it feels. Maybe it's soothing to him right now. He may look like he's in pain to me, but I don't know what he's got going on in his brain. So I just kind of tune it out. And I haven't totally perfected that, you know, tactic in every area of my life, but I'm really trying to work on it. Because I really think that when you change the way you think about things, you can change your life and you can do anything. So that's some more advice. Is if somebody has a problem with you wearing dentures, who in the fuck are they to you? And if you have a problem meeting a guy or meeting a girl because of that, trust me, you don't want to stick with somebody who is that judgmental and critical about the way you look. you don't. So that's a good thing to get that out of the way up front. It's like, you know, oh, you wear dentures? No, I don't want none of that, you know. Thank you for not wasting our time. That's a good thing. So change the way you start looking at things. Don't worry too much about what other people think about it. People get shit done to them every single day. And it's teeth, no different. Not a big deal. And always come out of situations with a positive attitude. And that's that.